Okay, we're doing a mock test with tell me your name, Abigail. Oh.
Abigail.
Doing a mock test today with Abigail. Abigail, tell them how many lessons you've had. How many hours?
I don't know.
You've had 12. Counting on your progress sheet, she's had 27 hours. We're doing our very first mock test. Tell them when you got your driving test, boo.
The 10th of May.
Well, you could have said a month's time.
Oh, oops.
Have you any questions? Oh, you want to do Saturday, don't you?
Yeah.
Have you any questions before we start?
No.
Sure. 30 to 40 minutes, depend on traffic, various traffic road conditions. One would have you practice with your trainer, possibly the control stop. Well, you haven't done that, have you?
No.
Not doing that then. And you will be driving independently by way of sat-nav signs. She wants sat-nav, don't you?
Yeah.
Throughout the drive, I'd like you to follow the road ahead at all times unless you're directed by signs or markings. I'll ask you to tell which will do some good time. Do you understand that?
Yep.
Meet you at the test centre. We'll have to get on with this push for time. At the end of the road left. At the end of the road, turn right. Can you pull up the convenient place on the left? Thank you. You're driving when you feel ready. Can you show me how you delist the back window? Can you pull up the convenient place on the left, please? Thank you, driver, when you're ready. Well, this didn't take long, Abigail. Serious fault number 1 for you. Abigail, I don't know where you're getting this from, but you mount the pavement. Abigail has never ever mounted the pavement on a driving lesson. Never ever. And the first time she does it, it has to be when she goes on YouTube. Abigail, how do you work this one out? Tell you what happened. When you were pulling in, you took your eyes off the curb. You should have just been looking over the bonnet just as you were stopping. Then you would not have mounted the pavement. I did go for the wheel. Now, the reason I went for the wheel was because I thought you were just going to skim the curb and I would have just recorded a minor fault. Once I realised you were going to mount the curb, then I just took my hand off the wheel and let you mount it and give you this serious fault. Mr. Driving Examiner, Mrs. Driving Examiner would not touch the wheel, they would just let you mount it or scrape the side of the sidewall on the tyre. Minor fault number 1, Abigail. You get too close to these parked cars. You're doing 27, 28 miles an hour and you're just giving under a couple of feet. You should have been moving out a bit more or just reducing your speed. As a guideline, if you're only giving a couple of feet, go past them at 20. If you're only giving a foot, go through at 10. So less space means less speed.
After 300 yards, turn right, Darlington Road, then bear right, A167. turn right, then bear right.
Minor fault number 2, Abigail. What happens is the signal comes off after you move the wheel. You should reapply it just to confirm where you were going. It was really busy, so had there been nobody there, probably wouldn't have marked it. But because it's quite busy, just confirm where other road user where you're going to go. Serious fault number 2, Abigail. Abigail, what happens here is you get yourself in a lovely position in the box junction, and as soon as you stop the car, the examiner would have expected you to apply that parking brake. But what you do is you sit on the foot brake. What happens is the lights change and you rush it. And what happens is you don't feel for the stall, you feel for rolling back. It doesn't look too bad on video, but you roll back about a metre. Had there been anybody behind, a pedestrian crossing from behind or a car really close behind, then it most definitely would have been recorded as a dangerous fault. Had you just, when you stopped, and just when you stall, just get your foot on the foot brake or apply the parking brake and just get yourself out of the junction. Remember, Russian is for those rotten Russians. Russians means more rubles for me. Abigail, I'm going to give you some praise here. I'm loving this footwork. Learners, new drivers cannot do this skill for love nor money. So if you're a learner driver and you're watching this video, watch what Abigail does with her feet. I love this technique. It's a sign of a skillful driver, this one. So what she does is she changes it up, down the gears as you're approaching the roundabout. She keeps the brake still as she brings the clutch up to the driving point. Then she keeps that still to give herself a lovely smooth gear change. This is perfect technique, so well done, Abigail. Minor fault number 3, Abigail, use of mirrors before speeding up. You go through the national speed limit. Now you start to accelerate, but you need to check your mirrors because this is where other drivers like to overtake when it goes from a 40 to a 60. If you think about it, if you put your foot down and you don't check your mirrors and somebody's trying to overtake you, you could force them into oncoming traffic.
After 800 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit, A688.
Minor fault number 4, Abigail. You fail to carry out the mirror signal maneuver routine. You need to know what's behind and to the sides before you turn right at this roundabout. Could have been a serious fault if somebody's trying to overtake you on approach.
Go right on the roundabout and take the third exit, A688. the second exit. Go right on the roundabout and take the second exit. Go left on the roundabout and take the first exit, Green Lane. Then you have reached your destination.
At the roundabout, turn right, it's the second exit. Minor fault number 5, Abigail. These mini roundabouts, when you can't see properly to the right, just roll up and put it into first gear. What you do is you put your clutch down on approach, but you don't put it into first gear when you nearly stop the car. So it should have been rolling first. What happens is clutch comes a little bit quick, you stall on the roundabout, you keep it moving, it doesn't affect any of the road users, so it's just a minor fault. Roundabout, turn right, it's the second exit. Minor fault number 6, Abigail, goes down to undue hesitation. You're looking to the right, you've got cars to your right that are indicating left to merge off the roundabout. And we're just sitting there, you should just be driving onto the roundabout. Take the next road to the left, be careful, it's very tight. Minor fault number 7, Abigail, it's your back wheels go over the pavement. It's quite tight, so I would have been a bit slow and just kept a little bit more to the centre of the road before you turned. Can you drive it forward and rear on the left or right hand side? Thank you. And can you reverse it back out to the left or right? Can you take the next road to the right just when you get around this bend? Just next right here. And at the end of the road, turn right. Serious fault number 3, Abigail. Abigail, you should have just stopped at the white lines and then looked and leaned forward. You couldn't see because of the park cars to your left and right. So what you do is you just let it go over the white lines, and as you're going over the white lines, you start looking, and you see the car coming from your right, and then you stop. You cause the car to your right to stay around you. So this is a learner thing. I've seen this umpteen times where learners do not stop at these tight junctions where you can't see. They just drive over the white lines. So series fault number 3. At the roundabout, turn right, second exit. Roundabout, turn right. Minor fault number 8, it goes down for another stall. Abigail, you're even in second gear again when you stop at the roundabout. When you can't go, you know you've got to do that roll in first gear. I'm loaded with cold. How do you think you've done?
I don't know, because I made so many stupid mistakes at the start.
You were nervous, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was stalling everywhere, hit the curb.
Well, you mounted the curb actually.
Oh, I did that as well.
Have you ever drove like that on your driving lessons?
No,
Do you feel that was a bit fast?
yeah,
The whole drive was far too fast. You had the perfect excuse to drive a bit slow because of the weather conditions.
Yeah.
There's more accidents when people when it rains, more accidents when it rains. Right, you've got how many serious faults do you think you've got?
like 3.
You have? Can you tell me them?
No, I just know I messed up so many times.
Right, the first one was when I asked you to pull the convenient place on the left and you mounted the pavement.
Yeah.
Can you remember?
Mhm.
Second one, when you stalled at Devil's Cross.
Yeah.
The stall wasn't the fail. What was the fail?
I didn't put my handbrake on.
What did the car do?
Rolled back.
How far did you roll back?
A lot.
It did. What you could have done there was just stop with a brake, put the handbrake, and just got going again.
Yeah.
Final one. As the car park. I think you
Well,
knew.
I had my nose out. And
You what?
I had the front of the car out and this
Yeah.
car drove past.
Right. Could you see properly?
No, so I should have gone slower.
You should have stopped
Yeah.
and looked. You get used to it. What did the car do?
And went round me.
Yeah. So there, you should have stopped. You stopped out there. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you any questions before I turn this off? Anything wrong?
I just know what I need to do better.
Yeah, you need to slow down. I've never seen you drive so fast in all my life.
No.
Really fast. Right.